Lions TV, we are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors that you can see on the screen right now. If you are going to do a bit of business in the absolute nightmare of 2020, then please keep it in the Millwall family by checking out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. This is your Thursday Club VT. We're going to look back at last night's 1-1 draw against Reading at the Den, and we're going to look ahead to Saturday's journey trip to St Andrews and Birmingham City. Our opponents await the draw specialists that are Millwall Football Club. I'm not going to start out by looking at the team that Gary Rowett picked last night because I don't want to dwell on last night too much. I want to wrap it up very shorthand, if possibly. I'm very good at telling short stories long. I'm going to try and flip that and get through it quite quickly. One, because I don't want to dwell on it. Two, because I don't want to be too negative. And three, I need to get this video out quite sharpish. So let's look back at last night. I'm not even going to really reflect on the game. I'm going to say I'm going to try and take the positives out of it and tell you some good news. The good news was, to start with, Troy Parrott, I thought, did very well in the game. It was a difficult situation, though, because we've been crying out for a centre forward, and I've been saying we need to play a 10. Now we started playing that 10 with Ben Thompson. Parrott did very well, but the way he plays, I think he needs another striker with him, and he could ultimately play in that 10. Very good on the ball, very composed, looks very much more experienced than his 18 years suggest. Comfortable, both feet, coming, picking balls up deep and linking the play between the midfield and the strikers, which is something I've personally been calling out for a long, long time. So very good, very strong performance from Parrott. A lot of pressure on him to go straight back in and start the game, and I expect him to keep starting now. But I'd quite like to see Matt Smith play with him. Matt Smith doesn't move a lot, and with Parrott playing the way he does, he'll have to move even less. So interesting. He's thrown an interesting spanner into the works almost, Parrott. Not a spanner, because we know if fit, he's probably going to play, but a different type of player than I think a lot of us, myself definitely, was expecting. And it's going to be exciting to see him going forward. So very good from Troy, very positive from Troy. Also, something that wasn't positive was my full-time reaction. Very frustrating to watch last night. But I've got to hold my hands up and say, at the end of the day, whether I like it or not, whether any of you like it or not, whether we find it dull, disinteresting, we are competing in this division. And again, I felt, it wasn't overexciting last night. It wasn't brilliant at times. There was a lot of misplaced passes in the second half. No real tempo to it. Quite dull, no build-up, no entertainment. I'm not going to be negative. I did promise myself this. But at the end of the day, we're sitting 10th in the division. We're only 4 points off the playoffs. And we're competing with every other team in this division. Yes, we're not rolling teams over, but do we need to remember where we are as a club? Small budget. We've only been back in the division. This will be our 4th season. And priority is always safety. So for me, we are moving forward. It wasn't a brilliant, outstanding performance, but this is Millwall, and we're not always going to get that. So on a flip side of my miserable, low-key, full-time reaction, and partly during the live stream last night, you can't really complain. We all want excitement. We all want brilliance. And I think what I want, I was thinking about this today, reflecting back on previous Millwall teams over previous years. What I want is the team that played back the 2017-18 season, first season back in the Championship. We finished 8th or 9th, I think it was 8th, but there was excitement, there was wins, there was losses, we was competing, we had competitiveness about us and snot blowing, gum showing. We had a real togetherness and a bit of kick, bollock and bite, and we went out into every game and give it everything we had, and we were not going to win every game, although we did go on a 16-game unbeaten run that season, but we had big wins, big losses, goals going in. It was just exciting to watch and see a Millwall team absolutely full of energy, full of life and full of togetherness. And that's all I really want. A lot of us say, and I'm one of those, we would like to go to the Premier League for a season, possibly two, cause havoc for a year and then get relegated again. But ultimately, as Millwall fans, what we want is, we want to survive in the Championship and maybe have a decent cup run every now and again. Now, I think, again, this year that's going to happen. But it's just not been very exciting to watch at times. So apologies if I seem too downtrodden and disheartened with it all. I do know where we are as a club. Maybe I should rein myself in. Maybe some of you should join me, because I know a lot of you feel the same as me. But a little bit of excitement would be lovely, wouldn't it? Even a 3-2 loss, maybe somewhere along the way, or a 4-3 win. We just seem to be the draw specialists. conceding in the last 2 games as well, leads in both of those games. We're never going to score many goals. We don't concede many either, and that's just our existence. But, I don't know. Another positive to take is Gary Rowett. I've been a little bit critical of him, as have others. These are not Rowett's players, and players he has brought in have got injured at points. Exciting players. Zohor, Parrott was injured, just come back. So let's give Gary Rowett a little bit of time. He didn't have any time, did he, during this summer? It was a different summer than we've ever been used to. No transfer window. Well, hardly any time. Usually get 8-10 weeks off, is it, during the summer? And we didn't have that because of COVID. We pretty much went straight back in after 3 or 4 weeks. So not just Millwall, across the board in football, there wasn't many transfers. There's definitely even less money around now than there was before. So we need to be a bit patient. Give Rowett time. Let him try and get his own players in, because as we know, he's existing at the minute with a lot of Neil Harris's players. And I say, why is he picking Bavardson? Why is he picking this one? Why has he not put Smith on? And for all we know, a lot of you are thinking that as well, but for all we know, he could be thinking the same, but he's limited, especially now with the amount of injuries we've got piling up. It's been very, very difficult. The only other positive I can take from last night, without being a miserable moaning bastard, is, and I don't praise him enough, is Jeb Wallace. Now, Jeb Wallace, I treat a little bit harshly because I know he's better than the rest of them. He's probably a level above, could play a level above, if he can be more consistent. But what I'm going to say with Jed is this: whether he's consistent or not, I think, again, I've been overlooking something. He is always fit. He is always out there. He always gives 110%. You can't knock it, even if he is kicking balls into the cold blow up with his crosses. He gives everything he's got. And even when things aren't coming off for him, he doesn't shy away from him. And again, that was a prime example last night. An absolutely brilliant free kick. And again, saying, we don't usually get these sort of players. I don't remember too many times down the years you've seen Millwall players score consistently as many exciting goals, free kicks, especially, as Jed Wallace has. So, well done, Jed. Maybe I'm too harsh on you at times, but it's only because I love you and I want the best out of you. But yeah, brilliant from Jed again last night. As I said, he doesn't shirk away, does he? He takes the responsibility, he tries to make things happen. He's always fit. He's always giving 100%. So, yeah, there's another positive out of last night. I'm not going to dwell on it. As I said, it's 1-1. It's another point on the board. And we're still 3 games now unbeaten? Or 4? I can't remember. But keep smiling. So we move on to Saturday, a trip to Birmingham City and St Andrews. Birmingham currently sits 17th in the table. They've drawn 2 and lost 2 of their last 4 games, so they desperately need a win, especially at home. They'll be looking to get that. Last time they won was a 2-1 away win at Preston. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? But they ain't doing too well at the minute. They are struggling under manager Aitor Karanka. Karanka joined the club this year after previously failing to find promotion at Middlesbrough and Nottingham Forest, and he needs to get Birmingham a little bit further up the table. They didn't start too bad, but as I said, no wins in their last 4 sees them staring at the wrong end of the table. The one to watch for them is going to be Scott. Hogan scored absolute bundles of goals in this division for Brentford, didn't he, before his big money move to Aston Villa. That didn't really work out for him, and now he's back in the Championship looking to prove a point, and he will be the one to watch on Saturday at St Andrews. So this is your pre-match prediction, and here we go. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Why not? It sounds like an easy way out, but I can't see us winning there. We drew 1-1 there last season. Of course, Sean Williams with an absolute rocket put us in front before Birmingham pegged us back, and I can see it being more of the same. Again, not always an easy place to go, although over the last 3 or 4 years, I think we've got some good results there. I think Ben Thompson scored 2, didn't he? And a 2-0 win there at the back end of the Neil Harris reign. So, recent times, a happy hunting ground for us, but I just can't see us winning the game at the minute. I can't see us scoring any more than 1 goal. And if we score 1 goal, we've got a good chance of winning the game because we don't concede many. But as I said, over the last 2 games, we haven't managed to hold our lead, albeit both those games were at the Den. But unfortunately, I'm going for more of the same. Birmingham 1, Millwall 1, with Troy Parrott to open his account. So that's your lot for this Thursday Club. I hope you've enjoyed it. The fans' score predictions for the Birmingham game will be out tomorrow night, as the boys at Lions TV aren't as dedicated as I am. And as of yet, I've had no videos in. Tony Craig Lions Lounge out will be out on Sunday on the channel. That's going to be a good one. And of course, I'll be live streaming Saturday from 2:30. I'll be on time this week, I promise, for Saturday's trip to Birmingham at St Andrews. 3 points on the board would be lovely, but I'm predicting a point. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.